Hello, it has been a while since I last made a video, but a lot has changed in the time span that I had in between recordings. I don't live in Blair anymore. Kind of wish I still do, but I kind of wish I don't either. Blair was a city full of very particular conservative people. And I only got respected as a female a few times while I was there. I've gotten a lot more respect as a female here in Omaha, though. Although I will say, things have also gotten quite complicated since my last video. I guess to really give a brief synopsis of what happened, well, I've become a little bit of an advocate for suicide, trying to prevent people from doing it, because now I know what it's like to be dead. It's a big claim that I would say, hey, I killed myself and came back to life, but turns out there just happens to be a reasoning behind it. One of the other things that have taken place since my last video is, well, I found out one of the largest secrets about me and my family that I have ever realized. What I was told about my family in the past was a lie. Matthew Charles Brunk and Cheryl Faye Lambrick they may be my parents legally speaking, but biologically speaking, they are complete strangers. I had a panic attack when I found out about my family. So I went to the hospital to see if they couldn't give me something so I could calm down. That was a while ago. And so now every so often I run into one of my relatives, one of my biological relatives, or people from other families of that particular variety, which, from what I found out, everything about reality that I've learned is a lie. It turns out every single god in existence, and yes, I'm going plural on this, they exist. It's a real thing. But they're just regular people who just so happen to be immortal, and they lead normal lives. I also found out some other stuff. I'm Greek, for instance. And not regular Greek. My parents are gods. Specifically, Greek gods. Hades and Persephone are my actual parents. And the people that raised me, quite horribly if I may add, adopted me when I was a baby. Never told me about it either. Go figure. So, yeah. And of course, after I figured out this sort of thing, I went to tell all sorts of people about it, but my occult friends did not like my practice of openness. So, a lot of bad things have happened to me too. Anyways, to do things on a more positive note, I'll talk about my experiences of being dead. It's different. I'll say that, like, the entire time that I was in the underworld, yes, that is a real place, and there's two different versions of it. The dark and the light. I was in both. Basically, I killed myself twice. The second time, I was dead for about a year. And I was in a timeline in which Bernie Sanders became president of the United States. This is not that timeline at all. This is a completely different timeline, and potentially worse than the timeline I came back to, which this is not. Excuse me. So non-linearly, I was dead for a year. Linearly speaking, never dead. Because after I came back from the dead, I had some help from Mr. Kronos. Nice guy. Never seen him, but his influence was definitely there. I went backwards in time from 2021 to 2020 as a final spot. I could have easily have gone to any time period that I wanted to and stayed there. But I wanted to make up for lost time. So I got sent to March of 2020. Specifically, March 20th, 2020. I still have a particular letter stating that when I went to the hospital. And I guess a side effect of resurrection is you trip balls on DMT for hours afterwards. I was high as fuck on DMT when I went to the Manual Hospital. So much so, well, I got sent to a psych ward because I was tripping balls 8 hours straight. I was on quarantine for 2 weeks due to the coronavirus. And after the 2 weeks, well, I got sent to Lasting Hope, which is a psych ward ran by the Catholic Health Initiative of Nebraska. And they pumped me full of medication because with the way the medical establishment is, they are very materialistic in terms of their belief systems. Like if they can't see it, smell it, taste it, or feel it, it doesn't exist to them, which, based off of my experiences, is bullshit. And I was homeless for a while, too. Recovering from being dead. My leg was completely fucked up due to the fact that a lot of the flesh while I was dead liquefied. I'm very thankful for some of the folks that have helped me in my recovery, which, bear in mind, I had minimal help with my recovery altogether. I had to strengthen my legs on my own. It was not fun. It is not fun at all. Now, I will say that, to change the subject to something kind of happy, I have a role amongst my family, and that is I'm the goddess of the LGBTQIA community and youth culture. So, my job essentially in the Greek mythos is essentially to be super fucking fabulous and gay. Go figure. Now, I've been told a lot that I should, write a book about these experiences, but I decided instead that I'm going to do vlogs about my experiences and just let that be in the public domain for all to see or consider. I will say that in between videos, I also was able to consume a particular substance called ambrosia. It is designed to give the person either a very long life or immortality. I'm hoping that the immortality thing will be my case. If it is not, then it is not. I'll live a very long life and be very fruitful, productive and whatnot in a way that I think is correct. I had a lot of help from my friends to get me out of being homelessness, but it took a lot in order to get me to a place of stability in terms of my housing. Now, while I was recovering, I basically got banned and barred from all the homeless shelters in Omaha. Every single one. Specifically because I'm transgender. Now, legally speaking, they can't do that. So they made up a reason. Each shelter did. And so, because of that, I didn't really have any other choice. So I elected to go to jail for a week so that I would have a bed to heal my leg up a little bit. My time in jail was the worst experience I ever had. Worse than even my childhood, which that says a lot. I had a really shitty childhood, so being in jail, it's weird. I will say this, some of my friends created some clones of me because, well, I said that I was going to talk about all my experiences in a court of law. So, because of that, clones were made of me, and some of my friends tried to get me out of jail. That didn't work out too well. And so I was tortured in jail too. And some of the clones that were there were watching my torture happen, and they did not like it, which that's completely understandable. So they lashed out and killed 17 correctional guards. 17. No weapons, nothing, just the bare hand. Like they killed those guys with just that. This made my friends very, very satisfied that my genetic code could be used in a way to create a super soldier or something like it. Now, since I couldn't keep my mouth shut, as soon as I got out of jail, I was sent back to Lasting Hope. But this time I resisted their treatments. Like, I didn't give them consent. And so I was at Lasting Hope for 2 months. And half the time that I was there, they put me on drugs. Horrible drugs. First time I took one of their little drug things, my nose bled. Like, a lot. And there wasn't really much I could do. Because if I said no to them, they would pin me to my bed, force me down, and inject me against my will. Thankfully, though, I am not in that situation because I have a much better situation at hand. Now, my time in a psych ward may discredit my story, and I don't care. I don't care if anyone believes me. What happened to me happened. And that will never change. No matter what someone says or does to me, the facts stay the same. But the good thing is, one of the side effects of being dead is those Social Security checks. They pile up the less you're able to get access to them. So right now, I actually am doing pretty decent financially speaking. I'm not rich, but for someone who collects Social Security, I am. If anything, I have to spend money in order for me to continue getting my checks because, well, at this time of the recording, I'm pretty close to the limit that Social Security allows, which is $2,000. The last time I checked my Social Security, my money, I had like $1,800 something, but I'm guessing now I probably got like maybe $1,750, which is more than acceptable. But I still got checks coming in the mail that will make it in which I'll have to spend money again. But if everything works out, next month I'll be going to spend the winter with my family. Hopefully at that point I'll be able to see the family doctor and he'll be able to help me out with my transitional needs while I'm there. Hopefully I'll be able to get rid of any last vestiges of masculinity that I have left and just will complete what I started 6 years ago. If I still remain here after November, then that's fine too. I'll still have bills to pay and projects to get done. And this stupid long hair, it always gets in the way. My hair's getting longer, and it took me a long time to get my hair like this. So I'm thankful I have the long hair, but also it's quite annoying. But nonetheless, I can say with certainty that I went through a lot of shitty stuff. And now I'm in a good position. I think that'll be it for the video for now.